Hi, today we have Kia Sportage with 1.6 GDI engine. I'm going to show you how to change the hydraulic clutch release bearing. I'm going to start with removing this air duct from the air filter, and after that I'm going to remove the battery. First I have to remove these two plastic fast pins so I can pull out this air duct, and after that I'm going to disconnect the battery. I have removed the battery terminals. I can loosen the bolts with 10mm wrench, and there is one bolt that is holding the battery with 12mm wrench can be opened. Next I'm going to open this bolt with 10mm wrench, open this metal bracket with screwdriver, also this one, remove the hose from the air filter, disconnect these two hoses. Next I'm going to open these 4 bolts that hold the battery stand with 12mm wrench. Next I'm going to remove these 2 pins, and also I'm going to open this bolt with 10mm wrench that is holding the cables. Next I'm going to open these 3 bolts with 12mm wrench that is holding the bracket for the gear shift cables. We have moved the gear shift cables on this side, so next I'm going to disconnect the reverse light switch. There is a button here, you can press it and then you can pull out the connector. Now also there is one bolt here with 12mm wrench. This one is holding also the hoses and wires. I'm going to remove that bolt also, and after that I'm going to open this bolt. This bolt and these 2 bolts from the starter with 14mm wrench, and on this side I'm going to disconnect this connector. This one is for the neutral gear switch. I remove the bolts, so for now I'm finished on the top side of the engine. Next I'm going to raise the vehicle, and I'm going to remove the plastic cover under the engine. I have removed 2 front wheels. Next I'm going to remove the plastic cover. There are 6 fast plastic pins. We have 3 on this side and 3 on the other side, and also we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bolts with 10mm wrench. Next I'm going to drain the oil from the transmission. I can open the plug with 17mm wrench. Next I'm going to open these 3 nuts from the lower ball joint with 17mm wrench, also on this side, so I can lower the lower wishbone and remove the both drive shafts. If remove the nuts, so now I can lower the control arm. Next I'm going to open these 2 nuts from the drive shaft with 32mm wrench on both sides, and after that I can remove the drive shafts from the transmission. I have to disconnect the stabilizer links also. because the CV joint is very long in the here in the shaft, and there is not much space to remove it. When I disconnect the link, I can push the hub more away, and after that I can pull out the CV joint from the hub. I have removed the CV joint from the hub. So next with this kind of tool, I just push the drive shafts and they easily pop out from the transmission. Next I'm going to disconnect this metal bracket that holds the wires and also the grounding point. Those bolts can be opened with 12mm wrench. Next I'm going to remove the transmission mounting. Now you can see here we have two bolts with 14mm wrench, and I'm going to open this one center bolt with 17mm wrench. And after that I'm going to open these bolts that hold the transmission with the engine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and one we have at the exhaust 5 bolts also with 14mm wrench. I have removed all the bolts except for this one. This one is only loosened. So now I'm going to lower the vehicle. I'm going to remove this plastic splash guard over here, and after that I'm going to support the engine. I'm going to try first to remove the transmission without removing the front subframe. We'll see if I can do it. If not, I will have to remove the subframe to remove the transmission. I have supported the engine. So next I'm going to open these 4 bolts with 17mm wrench, and after that there is a plastic cover here. I have to open it and open the other 2 bolts that hold this aluminum part of the transmission mounting. I have removed the 4 bolts. So next I have removed the plastic cover here. Now you can see 2 bolts with 14mm wrench. I'm going to open them. I have removed the aluminum mounting. Also I have removed this pin with a small screwdriver from the hose of the hydraulic clutch release bearing. Now I can raise the vehicle, support the transmission, and I can remove it from the vehicle. I have supported the transmission with hydraulic jack, removed the last bolt, and as you can notice I have pulled out the transmission from the engine. Now I'm going to lower it down, and the transmission is removed from the vehicle. So now you can see hydraulic clutch release bearing. Now the bearing wasn't leaking hydraulic liquid, but it was entering air inside the system. I have bleed the system, and after 2 or 3 days it happened the same. There was air in the system again. I bleed it again. Also in 2 or 3 days there was air in the system again. So probably the hydraulic clutch release bearing is bad, and it's leaking air inside the system from somewhere. I'm going to replace it with a new one. I have opened the 3 bolts with 12mm wrench that hold the hydraulic clutch release bearing. So this is the old one. Here we have the new one. So now I'm going to install the new one, tighten the 3 bolts with 12mm wrench. I have installed the new hydraulic clutch release bearing, so now I can raise the transmission and mount it on the vehicle. I have installed the transmission on the vehicle. I have tightened 5 bolts from the lower side of the transmission with 14mm wrench. So next I'm going to lower the vehicle. I'm going to raise the engine with the transmission and install the transmission mounting. I have installed the aluminium mount, 4 bolts with 17mm wrench, also 2 bolts on this side with 14mm wrench. So now I can remove the engine support and I can start installing the drive shafts. I have raised the vehicle again. I have installed the drive shafts first. Next I'm going to install the transmission mounting, 1 center bolt with 17mm wrench and 2 bolts at the subframe with 14mm wrench. I have installed the transmission mounting. Also I have installed this metal holder for the cable, 1 bolt with 12mm wrench. Also the grounding point, 1 bolt with 12mm wrench. I have installed the stabilizer links, 1 nut on each side with 17mm wrench. Also the lower ball joints, 3 bolts on each side with 17mm wrench. Next I'm going to lower the vehicle. I'm going to install this side plastic cover and also the plastic cap for the bolts of the transmission mounting, and I'm going to install the nuts of the CV joint and tighten them with 32mm wrench. I have installed the plastic cover. There are 4 bolts with a screwdriver and 3 bolts, plastic bolts that can be turned by hand, and couple of fast pins. Also I have tightened the CV joints. So next I'm going to install the bolts of the starter and also the top bolts of the transmission. I have installed the 2 bolts of the starter and also the 2 top bolts of the transmission. I have tightened them with 14mm wrench. Next I'm going to replace this reverse light switch because it was leaking oil, and after that I'm going to install the gear shift cables. We have 3 bolts with 12mm wrench. I have installed first this mounting bracket that holds the wiring cable, 1 bolt with 12mm wrench. After that I have installed the gear shift cables, 3 bolts with 12mm wrench, and also there is one mounting for the cable, 1 bolt with 10mm wrench. Connected the R pins, connected the reverse light switch, and next I'm going to connect the hydraulic clutch release bearing, and I'm going to refill the system with hydraulic liquid, and after that I can bleed the system and I can try the clutch. I have connected the hose of the hydraulic clutch bearing. As you can see now it's leaking hydraulic liquid. So now I can push back and press the safety pin, And now I can try the clutch. The clutch is working perfectly. So now I can connect the neutral gear switch and I can install the battery stand. I have installed the battery stand, 4 bolts with 12mm wrench. Next I'm going to install the air filter housing, connect the hoses and install the battery. I have installed the air filter housing. We have 1 bolt here with 10mm wrench, connected the hoses, tightened the metal brackets, installed the battery, installed the air duct diffuser. So now I'm going to raise the vehicle, refill the transmission with oil and install the plastic cover under the engine. I have raised the vehicle, so now we can see this bolt here can be opened with 17mm wrench. From there we can refill the transmission, and also this bolt is like a level, so the oil should be to this level refilled, and to refill it we need around 2 liters of oil. This transmission uses 7585. I have installed the plastic cover under the engine, so now I can lower the vehicle and I can do a test drive. The vehicle is on the ground, so now I can start the engine. Reverse is going okay. First it's moving okay. So this means that I am finished. If you like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and thank you for watching.